I have a story to tell. I have a very long, complicated story to tell that began 2 years ago in October of 2011. The problem is that nobody wants to hear it. The problem is that nobody cares. Certainly the people who need to care, the people who can do something about it, don't care. I am autistic. I am disabled. I live in America, and I don't have the same rights as normal people. I don't. I don't have those rights because I'm autistic, because I can't defend myself. And that isn't right. What I went through in the last 2 years, none of that was right. And it just got worse and worse and worse. And every person who was supposed to be helping me ended up being another person who abused their power. It's not a happy story. It's one that I can't get out of my head. I can't move past it. I think because just for the first time in my life, I feel like I have to stand up for myself. And I've never done that. I was taught that I wasn't worth it. I was never stood up for by my family. When I was little, when you're supposed to learn that, you know. And I didn't. And that's fine, a lot of people don't. But I never did for myself. And people tell me to blow it off, I need to get past it. I need to do this, I need to do that. It always comes back on me. And I feel like the only thing that I am guilty of is being vulnerable because I have a disability. We have a disability. We people with autism. We have a disability. It's a disability. Some may not want to call it that. Because they're, you know, it's just a different way of thinking. But it isn't the world's way of thinking. And so it makes living in this world extremely difficult. I was abused horrendously by the system over the last 2 years. Person after person after person who were supposed to help me. Plus the legal system, which definitely wasn't trying to help me, but and all because of the way my brain works. And the fact that as a naive, or as an autistic person, I'm a little bit naive. I know I am. And because I'm a little bit naive, I now have a criminal record. I have a record that says that I am a bad person. And I have spent my whole life, my entire life, trying to prove that I am a good person. And what's more, when I had a chance to defend myself with lawyers that I paid, they threw me under the bus. I had all this documentation to show the judge. And they wouldn't let me give it to him. They wouldn't let me show him. Things would have worked out a lot differently. I honestly believe it. But just so many people in the system corrupting it. My guardian and my adult protective services worker who decided to launch an investigation against me, which blew away my lawyer and guardian ad litem when I was trying to actually get my guardianship revoked. That was a huge mistake. I petitioned for a guardian because I don't speak well on my own behalf. When it comes to really important things, and I need to persuade somebody of something, I fail to do it. I fail over and over and over and over to do it. So I got a guardian. My guardian killed my dog. My guardian set out to do one vindictive thing after another, after another, after another, after another to me. And she wasn't alone. She was working with my adult protective services worker. They became buddies in this. If that sounds crazy, I'm sorry. But that's what happened. And it all happened because I'm vulnerable. I'm vulnerable and I have nobody to help me. I have nobody who will actually help me. She was supposed to help me, my guardian. And my adult protective services worker, she was supposed to help me. But then they saw those times when I am more autistic. The times when people don't understand you. When you say things in a way that you have to keep repeating yourself and they get really irritated or you seem belligerent or something. I try to be the best person that I can be, the goodest person that I can be. I've been working at that my whole life because I have been told my entire life that I am a bad person, that I was a bad little child. And I wasn't. I was a loving, compassionate, accepting little child who reached out to people and who cried when anybody was hurting. Because I feel pain so strongly. Other people's pain. My own pain. I wasn't a bad kid. I'm not a bad person. But that's how the world sees me. And I don't know what to do about it. I've tried getting help. I went to community mental health. And that whole thing that happened in 2011 was because of the psychiatrist I was seeing there. It was because of something horrible that he did. Just harassed me to no end, until I was actually suicidal. And then I got that guardian because I thought she could help. and I tried to get a disability advocate, and she turned right around and betrayed me in an argument over the very thing that I need help with, which is I need somebody to hear me. To hear me. Please. Please hear me. Or let me speak. Just let me speak, even though I'm not eloquent. A lot of times, I ramble. I get flustered. People become impatient. It takes me longer, because of my autism, it takes me longer to get the words out. But my words are still important. My words still matter. Please, somebody help me.